Sparkle throughout the night with Born in Roma fragrances by Valentino Beauty. Each bottle holds the energy of Rome after dark. Donna Born in Roma blends luxurious jasmine with rich, creamy vanilla, creating a sensual and vibrant signature scent. Uomo Born in Roma fuses aromatic sage and smoked vetiver, leaving a lasting impression that lingers well into the early hours. Shop Born in Roma by Valentino Beauty now at Ulta.
When the holidays start to feel a bit repetitive, reach for a Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry and put your twist on tradition. A bold cranberry and winter spice flavor fusion, Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry is a refreshing way to shake things up this sipping season. And only for a limited time. Sprite, obey your thirst.
Ray-Ban Meta glasses come with open-ear audio, so you can listen to your favorite music without blocking out the world around you.
Hey Meta, play Gorgeous.
Here's Gorgeous by Doja Cat.
You can also ask Meta AI questions.
Hey Meta, when's Doja Cat's next concert?
Doja Cat is playing at the Los Angeles Theater next Tuesday.
Sweet.
Ray-Ban Meta glasses, available at Ray-Ban stores and other authorized retailers.
You guys, welcome to another episode of What's Your Issue? My name is Troy McEady.
And I'm Darlene.
Darlene, how are you?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good because I'm here with my good buddy, my good Judy, ready to do a little chit chat. How are you?
I'm good. I wish I was there with you physically, not only because I love being with you physically. Well, hold on a second. Hey, wait a minute.
Hey.
But also, it's so fucking cold. I was just telling Dara that it is like, it's cold in New York in a way that I haven't felt cold in a long time. Like, it reminds me of being little at like the bus stop for school kind of cold. Like, it's a 90s cold. I didn't know they made them this way anymore.
Is it kind of the first chill of the season? Like, is this the first time that it's been this cold this year?
Yes, and it's the first snow that stuck.
See, your body hasn't acclimated yet.
Yeah, it's like the one where it's like, oh, it is winter. You know, when it's like you have little dustings and sometimes the rain can turn into little sleety, weird snow, but it's not winter yet. It's officially fucking winter here.
See, that's what's so bizarre about living in LA is, to me, it could be any time of year. I'm just like, oh, right, it is Christmas. Oh, right, it is winter. But it doesn't feel that way. It's surprising to me that out there, you're chilly, you're a little chilly boy, you know, on the other side of the world.
You're like, winter, never heard of her.
Not familiar.
Who is she? Sorry.
Someone just drove by my place, drove by my window, blasting Lana.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, so
we're being shepherded.
It's a good omen.
It is a good omen. Wow, we're being shepherded.
I guess I could, with that, just transition right into the question, huh?
Please.
Roy, this one's all you. Can you tell me, what's your issue?
My issue is the July 2014 Rolling Stone interview with Lana Del Rey. She's interviewed by Brian Hyatt. She's photographed by Theo Winner. And this is like one of my favorite music profiles ever because it's just so... I love a music profile. You guys know I'm a music profile girl. It's probably my favorite magazine kind of thing. This one is great. What'd you think about it?
I liked it. It was interesting. I like any sort of profile where something happens.
Yeah, same thing.
Where the writer kind of has to step away and interpret something that has happened. No, it brings like a nice layer of a little extra pizzazz rather than just, it goes the way it's supposed to go. I like when a writer has to really unpack.
And unpack he did. This man,
Mm-hmm.
Lana kind of put this man through it emotionally during this interview. Brian really had a lot to deal with here.
Yeah.
But if you are, I guess, if you're a Lana fan, I think most Lana fans know this interview. It's like very infamous. It's infamous for being known as the interview that Lana Del Rey walks out of at the end. She literally is just like, I don't like this anymore. Bye. Um, so, and that's like just kind of what everybody chalks it up to. It's like all that Rolling Stone interview where she kicked the interviewer out of her house. But the stuff leading up to it, I think, adds a lot of interesting context, and it makes the end of the article even more, when it does turn, it's like even better.
Yeah. Now, do we also want to simultaneously bring up our second issue? Or
Yes. Sure. So we're doing a double issue today. We're also going to be discussing the W Magazine interview with Lana. This is from August of 2025. She's interviewed by Lynn Hirschberg, and she's photographed by my favorite, Stephen Mizell. And it's a really good juxtaposition. It's so interesting to read, like, the 2014 ride, cigarette smoking, Americana, Venice Beach Lana, then versus like the Patsy Cline, country gal, alligator wrangler's wife, you know, like she's a totally different woman now.
yeah, it's also, I don't know why this is interesting to me, but the difference between a music profile where, you know, the writer is telling a story, giving their interpretation, whereas the W article is just set up like an interview as if it's been transcribed, which I never like as much as a true profile. But it is interesting to just see it sort of laid out there without any sort of interpretation.
I 100% agree with you, because a music profile just kind of ends up being whatever it is. Like, it just kind of, it's something that it feels like it's thrown at the wall, and then you just kind of see what it becomes, versus like like in an interview style profile like that, it feels like they're trying to like launch something or get something across or make you think of the person a certain way. Like, Lana wants to present her new Patsy Cline image, whereas in the other interview, it was just like her being observed. But I guess, so what did you think of, like, starting with the 2014 interview, what did you think of the interviewer and like how he came across and like his connection with Lana? Like, what did you think?
You know, it wasn't the most offensive I've ever seen of a male reporter, but I got the sense that he didn't really understand what he did to get her to turn. And I feel like he could have edged along with some of these questions a little bit more elegantly, and this wouldn't have happened. What did you think?
I thought, Lana kind of, for me, fits into this subcategory of like woman, like young, extremely, very, very talented, very beautiful young girl that like makes everybody uncomfortable. Especially men, right? Like, she falls into this kind of Fiona Apple, Tori Amos kind of thing, where it's like, but even more so Fiona, where it's like, the young ingenue, beautiful, genius songwriter who's tortured and depressed and has all these disorders and things that need to be fixed. And does she want to kill herself? Like, all those things. And it's like, how much of it is her persona versus her real life? Like, does Lana want to kill herself, or does Lizzie, who is Lizzie, she falls into that category of like, she's so confusing for men, and it feels like her whole career revolves around people trying to figure her out and figure out the Rubik's Cube, and it's like, really, at the end of the day, it's like so frustrating, because a lot of it, from her perspective, and usually from the perspective of the woman, is like not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Like, nothing to her feels as big of a deal as it does to everybody around her.
Yeah, I guess I did get the sense, though, that she had some landmines where, like, if you touched on it, she would sort of bristle. And, she says in the article, she's talking about her lyrics and whether, like lyrics she has that are kind of, shall we say, pro-domestic violence, I guess,
Right,
in a
yeah.
way. And it was talking about, well, sort of what responsibility do you have to people with your lyrics in terms of like glorifying things like that. And she was saying that, I just write this for me, and then like I'm not selling this. The record company is selling this. Like basically, I don't want to be perceived. I just want to write the music, have the music exist, and then I'm on to the next thing. I'm not even thinking about that. And it's like, well, for sure, totally understand a gal not wanting to be perceived and putting out, personal things. But the thing about being a famous person is if you do talk about killing yourself, it might not be that big of a deal to you, but people are going to take it and run with it. And in a way, how can you blame them?
Well, especially for a young woman, like a woman, like people take female lyrics at face value from whether it's like something really, really, really dark and intense, like her talking about anorexia or domestic violence or addiction, to like even just simply like being in love. It's like, God forbid a woman write a song about love and the public not then trace it to who she's been photographed with at that time. Like, or it could just be, I don't know. I feel like people want female lyrics to be literal always.
Yeah.
Whereas like with men, they just like don't care. Like Adam Levine can write a song about like shitting on a girl's face and people wouldn't be like, he did that. You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't be taken as scripture.
Though I guess I think it's hard to ask people not to do that when it's music like Lana's that feels so personal and, it feels so serious and specific. It's like, well, where did you come up with that? If not, that's not real. I mean, and I guess they, like they do it with Taylor Swift. Like, is this really like, who is this about? When it's like, well, maybe it could just be about anybody, but I don't know.
Right.
To a degree, I think it's hard to separate that, oh, this lyric is personal, but this lyric, like when she talks about the anorexia thing and it's like, well, I wasn't a part of like the pro Anna things. I was just singing about it. And it's like, well, I don't know. How would anyone know the difference?
Right. Especially like you said, because you are being presented as like a songwriter. These are Bible or not Bible, but poem verses. They're like diary entries. Like, yeah, I totally get that. I mean, especially even more so in her perspective because she writes such like provocative poetry. Like it truly is like really, really, really sometimes so personal that it makes you uncomfortable. So then it's like, well, how do you know if you're writing about something really intense? How are we to know that it's not about you? Like, why would we just, like, but I guess that's what makes women like her so fun as musicians.
Yeah. And she talks about in the article as well, when a writer's talk is interviewing, just like a run-of-the-mill rock star in a band, they're asking about songs that are like, I was partying and I love to party. But when she's getting asked about her songs, it's like, I want to kill myself and it feels good when you hit me, maybe. And it's like, and in that part, she concedes like, and like, these are personal things that are like, have been hurtful or emotional for me, which is true. So it is like, how are people to differentiate if some are true and some are fictional?
I like this little section where they say, when it comes to Lana Del Rey, who can tell anything for sure? She's a baffling bundle of contradictory signifiers, a mystery that 10,000 tortured think pieces have failed to solve. David Nichtern, who signed her to his small indie label when she was still in college, saw her as, quote, the outer aspects of Marilyn Monroe with the inner aspects of Leonard Cohen. She may look a bit like Nico, but she's her own Lou Reed. She's nervous and self-conscious on stage, but fearless in her lyrics. My pussy tastes like Pepsi Cola. I was an angel looking to get fucked hard. Her constantly viral videos are ID-infested pageants of creepy, nostalgic Americana, good girl, bad girl dichotomies, and the occasional makeout sesh with an old dude. Just try to figure out what's going on in her 2012 clip for National Anthem, where she plays both Marilyn Monroe and Jackie Kennedy, dares to riff on Zapruder footage, and casts rapper ASAP Rocky as JFK. It's like, that is Lana Del Rey summed up basically in a paragraph.
Mm-hmm. It really is.
Especially 2012 Lana. My God. Were you I guess I want to, were you a Lana girl, like, in 2012? Were you, like, on Tumblr listening to her wearing cutoffs? Like, what were you doing?
Not really, to be honest. Listen, I love Lana as much as the next gal, but you know, I'm not like you. I'm not like a rabid Lana fan. I've listened to all her music. I don't like to out myself as not being a rabid Lana fan, but I feel like I don't love listening to sad music on my own time. It's like, life's sad enough, baby. I'm just trying to keep myself above water. But yeah, I was into video games and like the video, and I liked that, but I wasn't like, oh my God, I'm obsessed with this person. Were you obsessed from the beginning?
No. Mm-mm. And I can't, like, lie about it on the show because people know I was a late in life Lana fan. I was one of those people that just didn't get it, and I didn't engage her music enough to learn how to get it. I just looked at her from the outside, and I will admit that I had a very, like, wrong perception of her. Like, I just didn't really get her in the right way. And then people started reaching out to me and telling me that I was, like, so wrong about her and that I would love her, and, like, it's weird that you won't listen to her because she's so your vibe, blah, blah, blah. Like, they were all like, you love Fiona Apple, like, you would love her music. It's just so weird that you won't give her a chance. And then I finally did, and my entire life changed, basically. I became, like, a super fan, and I went back and, like, revisited all of her old stuff, and I feel like I have a much better understanding now as an adult of just, like, the drag of it all when it comes to pop girlies.
Yeah.
I understand, yeah, the drag, and I understand that, like, it's okay for a woman to be in light drag. It doesn't always have to be chaperone, you know?
Mhm.
Like, I think all the girls do some version of drag, and Lana's is just, like, very specific and unique, and it's based on, like, film and literature and all of these different things. But I kind of learned to not take it all so seriously and to not think that everything was autobiographical. Like, you know, I was just like,
Yeah.
okay, some of this is literally just art. Like, she's just a person making art. And, like, you know, now I kind of look at her the same way I look at all the other girls, I guess.
See, my thing with Lana is that whole part of it, like the drag, the performance art, the sort of, I don't know, manufactured lore, the nostalgia, that was all stuff I could totally get behind, that I enjoyed. But it was kind of like the music itself. I feel like if I really hunkered down and like really listened and like, but I find very often when I put it on, I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, I was listening to Ultraviolence the past few days, and I was like, this is hard for me because I am a huge Fiona Apple head. To your point, or people saying like, you like her, like you would like this. And I feel like with Fiona, there's so much more, I don't know. There's still like a poppiness to it and a melody and a hook. Whereas with Lana, sometimes I'm like, oh, it feels like a little meandering for my taste. But I could be totally wrong. I just haven't like, I haven't committed enough to like really listening to all of it.
So my controversial take, and people are not going to like this, I I have gone back, and again, I didn't experience the eras at the time that they were happening. I've had to go back and revisit and look at the videos and the interviews and all the stuff. I prefer late in life Lana music even still. And it's because it's more autobiographical. It's more based in like reality. It's about her family and her boyfriends and her mom and, and she's always written about stuff like that, but it just feels like her late in life stuff is way more Fiona to me. Whereas like her early stuff is way more drag persona. Like it is a full character of a person. It's a parody of herself. It's like a mockumentary of her life. Whereas now she's just making straight up like Title and Fetch the Bolt Cutters and When the Pawn Hits vibe music. Like it's very much more singer songwritery to me than
Yeah.
her own stuff, which is just like, I don't know, like it feels full fantasy to me. I feel like you would really, I think you would connect more if you really got in there, like you said, to her stuff with like Jack Antonoff.
What do you think is like a good album I should start with, like in my true education of Lana?
I think Norman fucking Rockwell is her best album. And I
Okay.
think that it's like, it's a music lover's album because it's undeniable. Like, it's like, you cannot even be a fan of hers. You cannot have connected to her ever. But if you like just good music, you will be stopped in your tracks. And the lyrics are so captivating and not in like a fuck me, blah, blah, blah. My pussy tastes like Pepsi Cola. Not in that kind of way. And just like these truly are, this is a woman that just opened up her diary and is like reading from it kind of.
Yeah.
I think I'll shepherd you.
Thank you. Oh
I would
my
love to
God.
shepherd you.
This is beautiful. Listen, everyone in my life feels like a Lana head, or at least the two most important men besides my father, you and Nate.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
And I've always wanted to, and like, let me just say, I'm not adult. Like I have listened to everything, but I haven't allowed myself to sit down, like, let's connect, like, let's know what each of these songs are, and etc. etc. But
Well,
I'm
I guess
ready.
it's also important to note we can't talk about this article without talking about SNL because this interview exists in a world where SNL is still something that people are holding her accountable for. It's a very raw, very new wound. Like people are still very confused about her artistry. She's lost all of these industry friends that she made along the way that are like, I don't want anything to do with that girl. Like, I don't want people to even know that I know her. Summertime, she also doesn't have radio hits. Like Summertime Sadness, that remix was like a radio hit, but she didn't make it. And she didn't even know that they made that. Like she had nothing to do with it. So it's just interesting, I guess, to hear her talk about, like this, how the stuff she still writes about and like the fact that most people assume that she's this like industry plant and that she was created in a lab. They say Ultraviolence feels at times like a breakup album, though Del Rey says all of the songs were actually about previous relationships. Either way, it answers a lot of questions about her, even as it raises some new ones. If she were the corporate puppet or calculated fraud that some of her detractors imagine her to be, this is not an album that she would ever make. And that ties to a song that she actually has on her newest album called Grandfather, Please Stand on the Shoulders of My Father While He's Deep Sea Fishing. The Fiona jumped out, right? Is that not the most... Is that not some fucking When the Pawn Hits shit? But in the song, she says, I know that they think it took somebody else to make me beautiful, as they intended me to be, but they're wrong. I know they think that it took thousands of people to put me together again like an experiment. Some big man behind the scenes sewing Frankenstein black dreams into my songs, but they're wrong. So it's so crazy to hear her still writing about that perception like 10 years later and how it still kind of followed her.
Yeah. It's so of the time too. Like I remember the plastic surgery thing being such a huge deal. And if she were to come out today, it's like, oh, she has like a little ski slope nose and she's got some like puffy lips. That's like what everybody looks like now.
Isn't it crazy how mad they were about the lips?
Yeah. It's like 2014, it just wasn't a thing that people got like lip injections. And people were calling it lip implants.
Yeah.
As if anyone except for Taylor Armstrong has ever gotten a lip implant.
Right. It's like Taylor Armstrong and like Jeff Lewis. It's like, where are you getting this from?
Like, we were that dumb about plastic surgery and stuff like that. Do you remember watching the SNL performance? Did you watch it live? I remember watching it live.
Yeah, I did. I watched it live, and I gotta be honest with you, I wasn't a fan of hers at all at the time.
Yeah.
And even then, I just didn't interpret it to be such a big deal. I didn't think it was like career ruining, worst moment in television history. Like, I was like, all right, like she was pitchy, but that's like what she does is like she stands there and, you know, moves around and moves her hair out of her face. And I just thought it was like simple Lana where she like didn't sound that good. What did you think about it?
Yeah, I remember thinking that I couldn't believe how upset people were about it. I did think it felt like she was nervous and kind of, I was surprised that she just seemed very green in terms of performing.
Yes.
And then they say in this article, Jimmy Iovine was like, oh, I guess we have to teach you about how to use the ears. But I will also say, he says in the article, we got caught speeding in that performance. It's like,
I thought that was funny. What?
I was like, I will say that is on you, my guy. Like, nobody thought to stop and go, we need to teach you how to use these little inner ears so you can hear yourself. Like, you're about to be performing on SNL. Like, nobody thought to check if she like knew how to be on stage.
Yeah, there's a section of the article where they kind of acknowledge that she had these moments like that like any normal person watching would interpret and be like, think it was weird. Like, even her changing her name, like right before she became famous. And then in the article there, Jimmy Iovine is like, obviously people were thinking that she like that it was some weird industry plant shit, because like that's really a weird thing to do. Actually, I wrote it down. It says Lana Del Rey is, she says, the same person, the same artist even as Lizzie Grant. There's not like a schism between two people, she says. It's actually just a different name. And that's sort of where it begins and ends. I just thought it was strange being born into this geographic lockdown location and a name that you didn't choose and going to school for fucking 23 years. It was just unfathomable to me. So I think in choosing that name, it was just more becoming of who I was, It wasn't music related. It was just that part of my life. The other possible name was Cherry Galore, she says, probably joking. You'd be sitting here talking to Cherry. And it's like, again, to her, these things that are just kind of like, nah, I just wanted to change my name. But like to every single person around you, it means like way more than you just changing your name right before you debut.
Right. Well, and also to change your name to Lana Del Rey, it's not as if she's going from Natalie Hirschlag to Natalie Portman. It's like, wait, what? You're like, it's very Holly Madison.
Yes, it is. Wait, sorry, I left out a little section. There's a continuation. She says by the time Lizzie became Lana for good, 5 Points had already released an EP from the sessions under the name Lizzie Grant, and iTunes had selected Lizzie as one of the best new artists of 2008. As we're putting this album together, she says something like, I really want to change my name, recalls Nick Turn, who had been taking Lizzie and her album around the industry. If we're making the movie, you'd see a spit take. We had just gotten so far with Lizzie Grant, but Del Rey had found new management, dyed her hair from blonde to brown, and was ready to move on. They ended up all but scrubbing the LP's existence from the internet, which made it look like they were trying to hide Del Rey's past, contributing to the conspiracy mongering later on. We didn't want the old album to be available just as we were trying to launch a new thing. And if that created suspicion in the eyes of the weirdos on the internet, then that's fine. But it's like, that is really weird. Like, that was the shit that I used to think was like, that turned me off. That stuff
Yeah.
is why I wasn't a fan back in the day.
And yet, for me, I look at that and I go, I get it. You know?
Because this is
I
the
like
exact
to
kind of pop
change
star.
my name back and forth, okay? Sometimes you feel like a Sussman, sometimes you feel like Elaine, and you're like, oh God, what should I go with? And then you make a decision, and then you're like, that was the wrong decision, and then you have to go back. You know?
What's hilarious is that this is the exact kind of pop star that you would be. Like, your name would be Cherry Galore for like a month.
Literally, and then I'd be like, oh God, no. I slept on it, and I don't like it.
I'm Cherry Jubilee. Sorry.
Well, I didn't think about it before, and now I've thought about it, so...
They're like, we've pressed all the albums, and you're like, well, I guess they'll become rare relics because my new name is Cherry Jubilee.
It is literally exactly what I would do.
Yeah,
listen, sometimes a girl just can't make up her mind.
No, it's cool. And like, again, now that I'm an adult looking back, I'm like, none of this is like a big deal really to me at all. It's just funny. Like, back in the day, I was like, she sucks. She's fake. I know that she was Lizzie Grant. And then the Lizzie Grant thing made it feel like, yeah, like there was something to hide. Like, you know, it was like, it felt different than Gaga being Stephanie Germanotta. It was like different.
Yeah. But I guess I never even looked at it that way because I just kind of thought like, what could this girl have to hide? She's not a man.
Right. Yeah. And she like talks about all of the most insane, dark, twisted shit already.
Like I just kind of always chalked it up to, she seems like a weirdo.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I have always selfishly had I've had an obsession with difficult female artists my entire life. Like, I love difficult women. I really do. Like, women that everybody, women that turn left when everybody's trying to turn right. Like,
and that's what's so unique about you as a gay man. Like, that's classically like just not something that the community really gravitates towards. So you are one of a kind in that way.
We are known typically for loving, we like the Sandy, you know what I mean? But no, I do. I love like a woman that confuses the public and like refuses to like clean it up. That's why I think I have a secret. I appreciate Britney's Instagram years because I'm like, good for her for just fucking with everybody every single day.
Yeah, I think it's fun. We need more of. What else are women supposed to do? You know?
Yeah, it's like, and like watching them be seen as like in a way dangerous by men because men are like, you're not appeasing to me. You're not trying to sexually gratify me. You're not like, you're not making yourself like for the gaze of me. So like, what the fuck? Like, what are you doing?
What is this about?
I love it.
It is just so crazy to me though that it's like she's trying to hide something. She's a liar, and it's like because of lip filler and a name change.
It's
and a weird SNL performance. It's like what are you imagining in your head? It just goes to show like how men view women as just like we are just like, I don't know, out to trick you and steal your sperm or something. Like what could she have possibly been doing?
And it's like, why are you not just being a sexy whore? Stop complicating things with talking about all this weird shit and just be the nasty, sexy whore in the red lipstick that we want and stop it. Be a good girl.
In the W article, it was interesting reading it and kind of seeing how much more, I don't know, polished she is, or at least a little more aware of herself, just as being a famous woman for, at that point, 10 years and just, I guess, like probably understanding the game better. And she sounded so, just like a normal person. But then all of a sudden we get to the Lana drag of, and I was wondering at this point in her life, how much of her public persona is drag that she's just doing because she knows that people expect a certain something from her, and how much of it do you think is real? Like in this one, she says, Jeremy is the most impactful person in my life. He's quiet in public, but around me, he talks all the time. It's strange. Jeremy and I have what we call parking lot time. We spend so much time in parking lots, just reading or talking in the car. Sometimes in life, you think you're the only one in the world who loves a particular thing, like sitting in an empty Macy's or Home Depot parking lot. You might be really weird to some people, but then you find another soul who feels the same way. And then later, they're talking about taking the pictures for the article. It says, at the W shoot, you were listening to the documentary Grey Gardens about the eccentric Beale family. Does that film have special meaning for you? I was like, instead of listening to music, she's like, can I just have the audio of Grey Gardens? It's like, is that you? Is that really Lizzie Grant in there? Is that her heart? Or is this you giving us the Lana that we expect?
So my theory on this, and I could be wrong, and like obviously there's always a Lana fan that knows more about Lana listening, so please let us know. I feel like it is all so swept up into this perfect tornado at this point that you're not supposed to be able to tell where it begins and ends. Like it's like the portions of it that are just drag and inauthentic and like performance and like her like creating a Quentin Tarantino character basically, or her true self, like her having really truly authentic feelings about something. I think it's all just like I think it's truly a house of mirrors. I really do.
Now, do you think she knows the difference? Like, I was wondering, okay, like when is she leaning in and being Lana and when is she being off? Yeah, that's kind of what I feel.
Yeah, I think there are times where it's conscious. Like, I think there are times where it's really, she lays it on really thick and it's really just like full drag. Like, it's completely not tethered to any kind of reality. But I think for the most part, I would say she probably has a hard time knowing the difference. I would.
I mean, when you've been playing a character for so long, yeah, I guess it does. And a character that is based in aspects of you. But when you're playing that for so long and that's what people know you as and that's what you get paid for, becomes when are you feeding into it and when are you being authentic?
Totally.
Sounds
and
like a cool way to live.
Right. And like you said, people are like responding to it, especially, it's like in the beginning of her career, people are like being receptive to the persona and like people want more and the industry wants more of the persona. So then there's that part of it where she's always been also kind of fighting against the persona that she created, which is very interesting. Like, it's very Gaga, but Gaga like takes the Gaga persona and like wraps her arms around it and hugs it and cradles it and breastfeeds it and rocks it to sleep at night and rubs its forehead. And like Gaga loves Gaga. You know what I mean? Whereas I don't think Lizzie Grant always loves Lana. I think she has a complicated relationship with her.
Yeah. What other pop stars have that kind of like similar like drag character? Like to the extent that Lana does. Like I feel like she's one of the top, like the one who has it the most in a way, because it is kind of like, it isn't like Gaga where you can sort of see the showmanship and the musical theater of it all. Whereas with Lana, it feels, I don't know, because it's more cinematic, it feels like at times a little bit more sincere, but it's like, it's still such a huge character.
Yeah. Cinematic is such a perfect way to describe her drag. Cause it's like, you could make like Katy Perry comparisons, but those are also, it's much more Gaga. Like you said, it's like larger than life. I will say it reminds me of Katy Perry in the sense that she resents it sometimes and then loves it sometimes. Like Katy Perry un, un undoubtedly hates Katy Perry sometimes, and we watched her try and buck Katy Perry, right? And we know that she never wanted to be Katy Perry. So like in that aspect, it is very similar, I think, where Lana sometimes is like, what the fuck did I do? Like, what kind of corner did I paint myself into? But also, I love it. It's my creation, you know?
Yeah. And it's such a sexier persona than Katy Perry.
How dare you? Change to the Rhythm is one of the sexiest things I have ever seen in my life. Should we, before we launch too deeply into the W, should we talk about her walking out on this interviewer?
Oh my God. Yes, of course. The meat and potatoes.
So, on the last day of this interview, the writer talks about how he had this weird feeling going into the second day, and that something felt off and wrong as soon as he showed up to interview her. And Lana basically was like, "I don't really know what to do with you. Like, I don't really like know what to do. I thought about places to take you, and I just can't think of anywhere that I even want to go with you." And she goes, "So I thought maybe we could go see a psychic together." Because she couldn't think of anything else. So the writer called the outing, quote, comically pointless.
Yeah.
The interviewer says he starts asking her questions that you can tell are very sensitive, like you said earlier, and they touch on Saturday Night Live. You know, her saying that she wants to kill herself and her lyrics, and he's like, I guess he chose the second day as his like, we're gonna be tough today. This is like the day
Yeah.
where I go Diane Sawyer on you. So it says, we begin an agonizing, endless meta conversation about our interview and her relationship with the press. I find the nature of questions difficult, she says, because it's not like I'm a rock band and you're asking me how, and you mentioned this earlier, how everything got made and what it's like touring in arenas and what all the girls are like that we're hooking up with. It's about my father. It's about mental health. It's fucking personal. And those questions all have negative inferences. It's just like SNL. Do you actually want to kill yourself? Maybe I'm sensitive. Do you think? That's when she says that she doesn't want to be on the cover of Rolling Stone anymore. She also says, what you write won't matter, meaning that nothing will change her detractors' minds about her. It goes on and on. You hit all my more sensitive weaknesses, all of my Achilles heels. You're asking all the right questions. It's just that I don't want to answer them. Every attempt to talk her off the rhetorical ledge seems to make it worse. Del Rey stands up in a distinct time to go gesture. Quote, I definitely presented myself well, and that's all I've ever done, she says, walking me downstairs. And that's never really gotten me anywhere. It's just uncomfortable and it's nothing to do with you. Stepping out, I try to convince her that the crisis of confidence over the interview is no big deal. It is, again, the wrong thing to say. It's not a crisis of confidence. It's not, she says, standing in the doorway. I am confident. Her eyes are ablaze with hurt and pride. I am. She says goodbye and she shuts the door. And that's how her interview ends.
I feel like in my gut, I feel like she just kind of was like, I don't feel like doing this anymore.
Totally.
I was just like, I don't know what to do with this guy. I don't want to hang out with this man. We went to the psychic. It didn't really work out. I'm fucking over this. I don't feel like talking about this. And it's like, well, I'll really like lean into not wanting to answer these questions.
Well, I also think too, and I want to get your take on this. I just think that there are certain people, and I feel like this only ever really happens with women, unless you can think of a man, but there are certain women that the world wants to be famous in a specific kind of way, and they're just not meant for it. Like, she's not supposed to be this girl. Like, she is kind of meant to have like a Kate Bush, Fiona Apple kind of career where she's just like a weird art girl that makes her weird little art on her MacBook and like goes on about her life. She's not Gaga. She's not Madonna. She's not Beyonce. She's not Britney. She's not that girl. It's the same way that I felt about Amy Winehouse. Like,
yeah.
Who would ever think to tell Amy Winehouse that she has to perform at Lollapalooza? It's like, why?
Do you mean like mostly within temperament or within like style of music?
Temperament. I don't think that she's meant for this world domination kind of fame. I don't think she's good at it. I don't think she has any desire to be good at it. I don't think it means anything to her. Like, I don't really think she cares that like a record number of people are watching her at Coachella, because
Yeah.
if she did, she'd be on time and she'd put more effort into the set list. Like, I just don't think that this means anything to her. Whereas, somebody like Beyonce or Gaga, or Taylor, it means everything. And both of those things are fine. But I just don't think that all successful women in pop, if that's their category or whatever, are meant to occupy those spaces and like be on the cover of Rolling Stone or, I just don't think that that's like the kind of fame she was ever meant to have.
Well, it's interesting because like I think about Chapel, obviously. Like
Yeah.
temperament wise, she's tough. And she also seems like, the type of performer, the type of music where she never, like, why would she ever become so hugely famous? And then she does. And then she just doesn't really have the temperament for it. But then there's someone like Charlie XCX, who it seems like for so much of her career, she was almost just like, well, I'm just never going to be mainstream. Like people are just never going to get this. And then they do. And she seems so great at being famous and seems to actually like take to it quite well. Like she doesn't have to have a Substack. And yet
You hit the nail on the head. And like the Chapel and Charlie reference is like so perfect. Cause like, I think for years, Charlie kind of had the fame that Lana probably desires, where she can release music, go out in public, do her thing. She's famous, but not quite, to quote Charlie directly. Um, and like the fame that Charlie has now, I don't think Lana would ever desire, which is interesting, right? Like, cause she's she's so good at so many things, but she's not good at doing that media manipulation, that whole thing. And like, she just seems so uncomfortable with it, especially when she's up against, for example, when she's like at an award show with Taylor, and Taylor loves that shit. She loves the being photographed and the game, like the game of it all. Lana is not like that. Like she's so like, I don't want to be involved in this at all.
Yeah, and I know that so many people look at that sort of stuff and they go, well, why did they like try and be in this career if like they couldn't really handle it or whatever? But I feel like what's very interesting about musicians is or I guess like actors and musicians, like anyone who becomes famous, is like when you're starting out, like, yes, there are some people who their goal is to become famous, or maybe your goal is to become famous because just fame means that you're successful and you're able to keep doing what you're doing. But with music, it's like, I don't know, there's so many avenues that you can take to just like have a career. You could be a songwriter and you can like, there's so few people that actually become famous as a musician. I wonder how often you ever even like fathom that you could be a level of fame that's detrimental to your daily life. Like her type of music, like why would she ever expect that she would? I guess in the article it does say like she knew she'd be famous, but it's like, did she know that she'd be like that famous?
Yeah.
Did she know that she would have a rabid fan base? Like.
Yeah. And I think that's such a good point. Like, you can desire fame and write about fame and all those things and make music about being famous or whatever, but it doesn't mean that you that you'll become like a global superstar who's on like best of all time lists, and you have like icons and people saying that they think that you're the best and that they love you. And I mean, you can't even really like fantasize that kind of attention being put on you and like pressure. But I guess it's interesting to see just like how she's chosen to get ahead of it and gain control of it. And like, I guess, what do you think about like the alligator wrangler of it all. Like, what do you think about, or even just the way she, like her relationship was written about in that and the W article? Like, what are your thoughts?
I just have a hard time believing that marrying an alligator wrangler isn't just like a little bit her not knowing the difference between like what's real and what's fake. It's like, of course she ends up with an alligator wrangler. Like, it just sounds so perfectly Lana, and it also sounds so perfectly in line with I'm having my country era, and I do think there's so many musicians that like have to tailor their personal life around the sort of music that they want to make, um, because you are taking your inspiration from your real life. Like, you have to live your real life to be able to, especially with music, create music. And I feel like there's a lot of musicians who, maybe get married to a person that they know isn't really going to work out in the long run, or maybe isn't like the exact choice that they would make in a vacuum if they weren't famous. But it's like, well, I'm going to have my falling in love album, and then I'll be able to have my divorce album. Like, I think, and I think that plays into not knowing like your persona versus who you really are and how they sort of meld together. And it's like nebulous. If this were Lizzie Grant, would she marry this alligator man and be living down in the bayou and she's working on her country album? I don't know about that.
I can't say I disagree. I think that she romanticizes men. I think that she puts them in like her fantasy Quentin Tarantino movie. And I'm not just referencing Quentin out of what she like loves him and like built all of her imagery around him in the early stages of her career. So I do think that she kind of like, she can take like a gas station attendant and romanticize that and turn it into poetry and music and songs about them smoking cigarettes and hanging out all day in the house and not doing anything. Like, she has songs on her most recent album about her ex and like what they were doing during COVID. And like, it's so not romantic what she's talking about, but she has a way of making it feel romantic where she's like, all we do is hang out and smoke cigarettes and like fuck. And like, we're basically passing COVID back and forth, but we don't care because we just love fucking and being around each other. And it's like, yeah, I think she has a way of being able to like glamorize even the most kind of nothing things. And I totally think that she has turned this relationship into some fantasy in her head. And you're right. It is just because it's so Shakespearean, the whole thing, him being an alligator wrangler and being able to write about that and him being from the bayou and like, it's for a woman who we just talked about for an hour, kind of like not knowing like where it begins and where it ends. To me, this feels the most persona. Like, she's in Patsy Cline drag. Like, she's doing drag right now.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like before, like when she was starting out, like so much of it was like dreaming and yearning for like Hollywood and for the sort of like Americana interest of fame. And that was her music. But then you become famous and you've sort of exhausted that well. Well, what's the opposite of that? It's not being famous. It's living a slow life in the South. And it's like, oh, well, I can like cosplay real life and like just go into the corner store and sit in a Home Depot parking lot if I marry this guy and just like fully lock in.
Yeah, and I think to your point, like, there's something about the way people reject when she does, like, when she skews the complete other direction and she's really giving you real life. People, like, rebuke real life Lana. Like, when they see her wearing her denim shorts from Penny's and her little tank tops from Costco, it's, like, crazy how people don't want that to exist. They, like, get angry, they get mad. They are like, especially men are like, what are you doing? You have the potential to look like this, and you're out wearing cutoffs and a t-shirt, and it's all cheap clothes. And, it's like, it's just the whole thing is just so interesting. But I will say, there's a part of that W article where she talks about, because there was like a long time where she was teasing that country music.
Mhm.
And she had said that she wanted it to be all like sort of like gothic country, which I love, like black veils and lace and,
Mm.
that whole thing. And then she kind of scrapped the idea when everybody started going country, like everybody was doing country music. And it just so happened to coincide with her wanting to do country at the same time. So she kind of pivoted to this, like, strumming guitars on the porch kind of thing. This like swing dress kind of thing that she's doing. And like that's even interesting. Like her pivots within country are so like intentional and coded and like so white. Like
Yeah.
she's like, I want to remind you, I am a white girl. Down. I am white, 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 white.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to look at it side by side to the two articles, where in the first article she's like, I just make my music. I'm not thinking about selling it. I don't sell my music. The record company does that. I just write what's in my soul. And then I really wanted to do country, but then everyone started doing it. So I was like, I guess I can't do it. And it's like, oh, so you are playing the game. You
Mm-hmm.
are, I mean, you can't be famous for this long without playing the game.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit more, she's like acknowledging it maybe a little more.
Totally. Yeah. These were very interesting to read back to back. Like even just the vulnerability of the first article versus this one where it's like she's been doing this for a really long time, she's
Yeah.
not like a young girl anymore who's like being written about in all these ways that she feels like she can't control or whatever. Like this is a woman who now knows how to use a machine. She knows how to manipulate the media. She knows how to pivot and all these different things. And you can just tell, like, it was like night and day. I'm glad that we read these together.
Me too. It was a great time had by all.
Did you have any closing thoughts at all?
No, but I have a question. Are her fans going to like come for us and kill us in some way? Like how rabid do they get about commentary?
Oh yes. Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, we're gonna get it. Yeah, for sure.
Well, I do always say that Lana Del Rey is Taylor Swift for the mentally ill. So same fan base.
It's true. We're gonna be corrected a lot on people who know her life in and out to like an extreme amount and get mad at people who don't. So even if you are a fan, it's like it's not enough. So yeah, you're gonna get your throat slit open. I hope you're ready for that.
Oh no, you guys, I like her. I'm just learning. I'm a little girl and she's learning. You can't fault that.
If it makes you guys feel any better, I am gonna get Dara. I'm gonna shepherd you along. I've done this before. I've shepherded people on a Lana journey. It's not my first rodeo. So
Okay.
I know where to start. I know what to do. Like I know what Lana you'll really connect to. Like I know.
Okay, I'm excited. I'm ready for this journey. I'm ready.
Yeah. It's gonna be good.
We'll
It's gonna be
report
good. Yeah, we'll report back in like a year. You'll be fully Lana coded.
I'll be on the message boards. I'll be bullying people.
Yes, we'll be referring to you as Cherry Galore or whatever.
Before we go, we do have a letter to the editor that, we wanted to read. This is from Amy, and she left this letter on Spotify. So if you're a Spotify listener, you can leave a letter, leave a little comment on any of the individual episodes. And she says, Dear darlings of the glossy arts, writing from across the pond in the UK. I would leave a 5-star review, but I already left one the second this podcast first started. The two of you bring such campy, chaotic joy to the world. The girls that get it, get it. Talking of the girls who get it, would you ever consider covering the people's princess, Miss Diana herself? Vanity Fair 1997, Diana Years of People mag? You bring a new perspective even when we think we know it all. Anyway, love ya, cheerio.
First of all, obsessed. Love.
Obsessed. We love our UK listeners.
Yeah,
and I
thank
love
you.
Princess Diana. So I would absolutely be game to talk about her. I mean, I remember her funeral the same day my Gigapet died, and I thought it was like really fitting and like sadly beautiful. My
You're
mom
like,
woke me up early to watch the funeral, and I was like, oh my God, and my Gigapet goes to heaven with Diana.
you're like, if I feed the Gigapet and it comes back, will Diana come back? Yeah, I would love to do some Princess Diana. I think it would be really cool to just do like a whole episode full of interesting articles written about her. From like People magazine to like Vanity Fair, like the highbrow stuff, I think would be cool. I would love to.
Did you ever see the Kristen Stewart Diana movie?
No, I never did.
I love it.
Really? I heard it was amazing.
Incredible. I think you would really like it.
Okay. Well, maybe like we can really plan this and like I'll watch that.
Yes.
If there's any like docs or anything that people suggest, like let's lean in.
Yeah. Let's lean in.
Let's do it. Also, like, please send us suggestions for articles and articles that you want to hear us cover. Like, because there's just so many.
Yeah. And it also doesn't have to be celebrity based. Like, we've been doing a lot of profiles and stuff, but we'd also like to do articles that are maybe about like a really interesting story.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to necessarily be a famous person. And if you find like a really cool story or something that has like twists and turns and etc., or just like about something weird and niche, it does not have to be like we're only doing celebrity profiles.
Oh my God, please. Like if you have interesting articles that you want to hear us talk about, send them to us, DM us. You can email us, however you want. Write them in the comments. Write it in the editor, anything, but just please, because there's just too many articles for us to remember all the iconic ones.
Mm-hmm. Or the ones that should be iconic.
Exactly, the overlooked ones.
Follow us on Patreon, subscribe. We're doing extra episodes there, and then we're also doing, if you notice, we're doing bonus episodes now during the week. Little short kisses to all of you. So that's like a lot of content coming your way. Please enjoy.
We love you so much. It's sick how much?
It's really gross. Someone call the police.
Follow us on the Patreon. Follow us on all the socials, all the things. We'll see you here, same time, same place next week. Mwah!
My name is Percy Jackson. Getting in trouble is like breathing for me.
The hit series returns to Disney Plus and Hulu.
The danger is greater than you can possibly imagine.
What about Grover? Save Grover. Save camp.
Percy Jackson and the Olympians. New season now on Disney Plus and Hulu. Learn more at disneyplus.com/what's-on.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here. Wishing you a very happy half-off holiday, because right now Mint Mobile is offering you the gift of 50% off unlimited. To be clear, that's half price, not half the service. Mint is still premium unlimited wireless for a great price. So that means a half day. Yeah? Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.